Hello everyone, I'm Dragonwhelp and welcome back to Terraria. In this video, I think I'm gonna show you how I normally set up a crystal farm. It's getting about the time where we take our crystals or bullets and turn them into crystal bullets. We're essentially homing bullets, but because we have the lack of hollow biome in this world, I figured I would just take a quick few minutes, I guess, and show you all how I do a crystal farm. First off, what you want to do is you want to grab some cobblestone or stone, if you will. I think I have some somewhere over here. Where did all my resources go? Oh, so ill-prepared. Okay, stone blocks. Grab some stone blocks. I think you'll need, I don't know, depending on how big you make this, depends on what you need or how much you need. I'm just going to grab quite a few. Probably grab all I have, and probably need to go find myself a quarry to make some more. But needless to say, we need to come over here and visit both our mechanic and our steampunker. Basically what we want to do, if you haven't already made yourself a grand plan or the grand design, it's going to be very, very useful in this endeavor. So please be sure you make sure that you actually make yourself a grand design. But mainly we need a lot of wire, which I think I have in my thing here. Yes, we need wire, so make sure you grab a lot of it. And we're gonna need a switch, so just grab any button, switch, pressure plate, anything to activate with. So now that we've got everything we need from the mechanic, we need to visit our local neighborhood steampunker. And what you want to do is you want to buy some conveyor belts. Whether you make them clockwise or counterclockwise, they're interchangeable. All you have to do to make a counterclockwise to make a clockwise to a counterclockwise is you put a signal on them with an actuator. I think it's an actuator. No, you just put a signal to them or run a wire through them and then step on a button or activate a pressure plate or hit a switch, and it will change the direction or which way we go. So it doesn't really matter which one you buy. I'm just going to buy a bunch of them. 300 should be fine. If you don't have the money for this, please be on the lookout for my farming tutorial that I will be posting here soon. So if you're interested in that, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, let me know in the comments that you're wanting to see that. But needless to say, with this build, you can either do it one or two ways. You can build it with a teleporter system so you get in and out, or the way I'm going to build it would be with some actuators, which I need to go back and talk to good old mechanic and buy some actuators, because I don't have any. So 300 should be fine. Alright. To build this farm, which is a crystal farm essentially, is you need to be below the cavern layer, which we've already got a farm down there for chlorophyte. So as long as we're relatively close by to that, we know we're in the cavern layer. See, as you can see, our chlorophyte is doing really well. So what I'm thinking about doing over here is probably make the crystal farm over here so it's like right down, easily accessible. So give me just a minute to clean all this out, and I'll be right back. Alright, now that we've got our little section cleaned out, we want to have a good basis to start with. And be warned that this will spread hollow if you don't take the pre-measured precautions, which I don't really care if this spreads hollow on this world. But for anybody else, most people like to keep their biomes contained. So we're essentially making ourselves a biome. So, but if you want to keep your biome safe, you want to have at least 5 blocks from the nearest stone or any other blocks that are that can be corrupted by hollow. Which in this case, like I said, I don't really care. So I'm just going to build on the basis of this, of where the underground meets the cavern area, and I'm actually going to go all the way across. And I will build a small back wall. This will be an enclosed area, which it doesn't really matter how you enclose it, whether, but it does have to be at least something that can be hollowed. So it can either be pearl. I guess it only has to be stone, because pearl sand works also, but sand physics in this game is not very intuitive. Anyway, regardless. What you want to do from there, after you get your little area enclosed off, which I'm going to do right now. I want to make sure I break that. There we go. Is you want to make sure that you leave yourself a little opening. Not too much, but a little opening. And I realize now that I just made a mistake. I want it to keep the same width as my elevator here. That's okay though. But I use the rope. To start the box. So basically, you just come down this way. Perfect. And you want to be able to make sure you're able to walk into it. And then what you want to do is you want to make yourself a little collection box. You can either put a door here. You can put an actuator here. Actuated blocks here. It just depends on how fancy you want to get. I'm just going to do with the good old door system. It doesn't matter to me how we get this open and closed. But you will probably need to stand in here for a few seconds while the crystals are being distributed to you. So I'm just going to build myself a wooden door and be done with it. You probably could put yourself a little light in here. Make it a little fancy. Anyway. I'm going to take these 3 blocks off so we can actually get in here and start working on the guts of the matter. Basically, what you want to do is you want to line every single one of these, and I probably need to take off block placement. There we go. And the crystals need at least a 1 block wide to grow. I think it's 1 block wide. We probably could use this little section up here as a test. But I know it needs at least 1 block to grow, or maybe 2. So this one we'll have a little test, and then this one I'll actually make 2 blocks, just to be sure. Because that right there where I put those blocks is basically on the very, very edge of the cavern area. So, you know, just to be safe. So anyway, go down every 2 blocks just for safety precautions. And if we find out that it's if 1 block wide works, then, you know, by all means make your farm 1 block wide. But I think with the farms, the way I'm building it here, and if you build along at home with me, you basically will have so much crystal coming to you every so often. I think it takes about an hour, 2 hours to grow in game time or real life time. It takes about an hour, 2 hours to grow as much crystal as you want. But you'll have enough crystal to accomplish what you're looking for. And if you find yourself needing more and more crystals, then this thing can be, you can build it as big as you want. You just have to be careful not to go too far left or right. Basically where our collection is. You don't want it to go too far off screen because there's a chance that the items may wind up disappearing. So just be aware of that. I mean, it may not happen to everybody, but it has happened to me in the past. So I'm just leaving that there as a, you know, little tidbit of my experience that has happened. Needless to say, we make it at least one screen wide, which is not a big deal. It does take a lot of blocks, so be prepared for this. And as you can see that you're wondering how am I going to get this. If you don't have the grand design, then you'll have to hook these up little by little as you come down. But since we have the grand design, and the grand design can be, You know, anything you see on the screen is basically it. That's why I'm building it in this fashion. So let me finish this up, and we'll be right back. And as you can see, I put another test slot, couple of slots down here. I also wanted to make this section here, you know, our height, so that way if we do need to come in here and fix anything, well, literally, I guess it really doesn't matter, due to the fact that you can actuate everything, get in here, fix what it needs to be fixed, and then go about your day. Anyway, we can close this out, and then now we can activate our grand design. And what you want to do is you want to get actuators. And the color wire of your choice, it doesn't matter what color you use, just as long as you know that if you have any existing wire, say you have existing wire here, then you can basically, don't want to mix into it or, you know, intersect with it. But anyway, we're going to use red for this. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the actuator button is highlighted and the color of your choice highlighted. And hopefully we have enough actuators, but you want to actuate everything within the box. So these rows here, actuate those. Whoops. Alright, there we go. Sometimes it can be a little finicky, so you have to be patient and work with it. And sometimes it's hard to see where these lines are because the fairy doesn't want to go where you tell it sometimes. I'll be glad when we can get a wisp. Okay, we are completely out of actuators already. Yes, we are out of actuators. So let's head back up to the surface and let's just get some more. There. Stack of 999 should work. Hopefully. Now that we're actually done with the stone blocks, you can actually put these away now if you wish. I don't think you'll be needing any of them. I will keep one stack just in case. We need to block off something or whatever. So, anyway, back down to the build. There we go. Back in here and finish where we left off. Alrighty, there we go. Now that you've gotten all the lines actuated, you want to turn actuator off, and you want to actually connect all of these. And I think that's about the best way right there is to connect all of them. The reason I say take the actuators off because you don't want to place actuator where there is no block. There's no point. So there we go. Now what we want to do is this is where the lever comes in. We want to grab our lever and put it on the floor, put it on the wall. If you need a switch, you know, use a switch. But I'm just going to use a lever. Place that lever like so. And then you want to connect this to it. So now, when you actually press it, everything is actuated. You can come in here, you can fly freely. And this is one good way to test to see if you missed anywhere, is to search. And if there's any blocks that are poking out, sticking out, whatever, then you know that that's where you need to place an actuator, and then you'll have to redo pretty much everything. You would have to come over here. Say if we have a block missing, we come over here, we click the button again, grab our grand design, make sure that the block is actuated, and then you click the button again, like so. Alright, now, what we're going to do here is we're going to actually take our conveyors that we bought previously, and we're going to put them over here. And you can tell which way they will bring either enemies, players, items by just stepping on them. And as you can see, it's taking me to the right, which is exactly what we want to do. And just fill in the bottom layer. There. So now when we actuate the blocks, let me get this off the screen. We actuate the blocks. As you can see, we can't reach any of this, any access in here, and then we actuate this again, and voila. Any items that were in there will be teleported or dropped onto the system, and yeah, they'll actually bring all the crystal to us. The only thing we are missing now is, let me put this block back on, and I gotta fight my way out of here. Only thing we're missing now is the way to make it hollow, which I like to do multitude of things. You can actually grab a piece of dirt, plant the hollow seed on it to put grass, and then let the hollow, you know, spread to the stone to make pearl stone. But my favorite way to do it, and it's really quick, really easy, and of course there's a blood moon, is to actually get the hollow seeds from, well, hey, the blood moon's happening. Now's a fine time to farm my deathweed. Interesting. Yeah, we don't need any of this stuff anymore, so we can actually put all of this away. There we go. But back to the task at hand. What I like to do is basically come to my alchemy station and make something called... open this chest and press this window. Can we make it with what we have? Holy water, which calls for 10 bottled water, 2 pixie dust, and a hollow seed. Basically, that will give you holy water. Holy water spreads the hollow to some blocks. We only need, I say about a stack. Not really, well, we really don't need that much, because once you activate the hollow into certain areas, it will spread to wherever you need it to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to equip this into my hotbar. So that way my little inventory thing up there goes away. And what I like to do is break this down. Go in here. And splash. Splash. And just have fun. Make sure that every nook and cranny, well, not really every nook and cranny, but a good majority of these blocks are hollowed. And if you do want to get the ones in the middle hollowed, just you know, actuate them, come through with the holy water, and splash it. It does go a good distance, so you really don't have to be literal. And since all of these are connected by one spine structure, once you get it to a point where it's you know, all cooked up or all turned to pearl stone, you'll start seeing every so often you'll see some crystals down here, and all you got to do is, like I said, come in here, click your little button, and the pearl stone or the crystals will drop. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait here until we actually do get some crystals to form, and I'll show you exactly how it works. So be right back.
2 hours later.
Alright, here we are. As you can see, it's been a little time has passed since the last time I cut in, but one crystal has undoubtedly formed. So basically what we do now is we hit the lever, crystal comes to us as long as we stand up against this, and ta-da! There we go. We got crystals. Why is that backwards? I need to fix that. Let's see. Cut the wire. Let's cut this. I even. Oh, that's why I did a little reorganizing and I didn't fix it. Let's cut the wire. This is what happens when you hit a signal or put a wire through one of the conveyor belts. It actually turns backwards. It goes counterclockwise. If you had clockwise, but if it's counterclockwise, then you make it clockwise. So undoubtedly this could be built on the left or the right. I just chose to do left. So let's fix this. There we go. And then what I want to do is cut that wire. There we go. So that should work. That shouldn't change that direction of the block. Yeah, there we go. So that's basically how you build it. And another pro tip, basically, is once you get the interior of a lot of your interior of your stone transform into pearl stone, what you might want to do to keep from crystals forming on the outside of your box is you want to oh, excuse me, what you want to do is you want to change it to something like mud, so that way, because hollow doesn't form on mud. It will form on dirt, but it won't form on mud. So you can essentially outline your box in mud so to keep the crystals from forming on an area that doesn't get actuated, which I'm going to do right now. And there you go. A fully functioning, automated, or semi-automated crystal farm. So now you just gotta wait and go explore in your world, and by the time you come back, there should be some crystals waiting for you. Anyway, that's what I thought I'd like to share. We gotta wait for the crystals to grow, and they don't really grow while you're sitting there for unfortunate reasons. But, yeah, so now what we get to do is we get to go and explore the world, and hopefully we'll get some crystals to grow. At least as long as there's 100 blocks to make it a hollowed biome, which we were already in a simulated hollow biome anyway. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do me a favor. Give that give it a big thumbs up. But until next time, see you later.